Students, this video is based on the chapter The 100 Dresses Part 2. So in this video we are going to study this chapter. But before I start the chapter, I would like to tell you a short summary of this story. In the first part, we have seen that Vanda has made the beautiful pictures of colorful dresses and she won the competition. She came first in the competition. In which competition? In the drawing and coloring competition. The whole class, that is the room number 30, was fully decorated by his drawings, and everywhere on the walls his paintings were being affixed. And all the children as well as the teachers, they were also surprised to see his paintings. So now in this part, the summary is, as the children were walking around the classroom admiring the drawings, Miss Mason received a note from the principal's office. It was a letter from Vanda's father. Miss Mason asked the class to sit in their places and read out the letter. In the letter, Vanda's father said that his children would not be coming to the school anymore. They were going to the big city where there were many people like them. Hopefully, his children would not be called Pollacks and ridiculed there. A deep silence followed the reading of the letter. Miss Mason told the class that she was sure that no one in the class had deliberately hurt Vanda's feelings and that if something hurtful had been said, it had been said thoughtlessly. Maddie and Peggy felt ashamed. Maggie thought she is a coward because she had just stood by and done nothing. Peggy could be excused as she never realized that they were being mean, but Maddie had. Yet she had kept quiet. Maddie decided that she had to do something to make up for the wrong that had been done. To her happiness and relief, Peggy was also thinking on those lines. It was she who suggested that they go up to Boggins Heights and see if Vanda was still there. They wanted to say sorry to her and tell her how wonderful the whole school thought she was. But when they reached Boggins Heights, they found the house empty. Vanda's family had left. That night, Mary was unable to sleep. She kept thinking about Vanda, her faded blue dress, and the little house where she had lived. The contrast it all made with the colorful and lavish dresses she painted haunted Mary. She thought hard and reached an important conclusion. Henceforth, she was never going to stand by and do nothing, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She could not set things right with Vanda, but she would see to it that she did not make anybody unhappy again. Peggy and Maddie wrote a letter to Vanda telling her that she had won the drawing and coloring contest and how pretty her drawings were. They asked other details about her new life and signed off with a lot of love. Around Christmas time, Miss Mason received a letter from Vanda. In it, Vanda asked Miss Mason to tell the girls that they could keep all her drawings because now she had 100 new dresses all lined up in the closet in her new house. She further wrote that she would like Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming and Mary to have the blue one. Peggy and Mary took their drawings. Peggy felt satisfied for she thought that Vanda must have really liked them to give them the drawings. She must have received their letter and it was her way of saying that everything was all right. Maddie felt a little sad for she knew that she would probably never see Vanda again and there was no way she could make things right between them. At home, she pinned up the drawing on her shabby bedroom wall. The room brightened up with the vibrant colors of the drawing. But as Maddie kept looking at the painting, she suddenly noticed the face. It looked exactly like her own. Vanda had really painted her in that picture. Excited, she ran to Peggy's house and looked at the drawing Vanda had given her. It was Peggy's face that Vanda had drawn in that picture. For Peggy, it only confirmed her belief that Vanda really liked them. But Maddie could not brush away the image of Wanda standing alone in the schoolyard and feeling sad and teary eyed. So, this is all about the story. Now, this was the summary. Now, I'll move to the chapter which is given in your book. The 100 Dresses Part 2. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Now, all over the walls of room number 13, the drawings, the beautiful pictures that were made by Wanda of 100 dresses, they were put on the wall, and the children were moving all around to see those colorful pictures. At the same time, the monitor of the class brought a letter from the principal's office for his teacher, Miss Mason. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Now she opened the letter, she opened the envelope and she started reading the letter. And it was not only one time that she read the letter, she read it many times. Then she clapped her hands. Then she wanted to discuss that she thought that whatever was written in letter, I had to discuss with the children also. So all the children, they were busy and looking at the pictures. So she diverted the attention and told them to sit at their places. Attention class, everyone back to their seat. Room was still and quiet. Miss Mason said, I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you. Now the teacher told to all the students to go back to their places. So by listening to this instruction, all the children, they were surprised and they were curious to know that now what next is going to happen. So the teacher announced that there is a letter from Wanda's father and I want to read this letter to you. So all of you have to listen it carefully. Miss Mason stood there for a moment and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. Now for some minutes she was only silently standing, nothing speaking. So all the children, they were surprised and they were curious to know. They were expecting what is going to happen. And they were worried also because the teacher was not speaking anything else. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. She was also wearing specs, so the teacher adjusted the specs. Her manner indicated that what was coming, this letter from Wanda's father, was a matter of great importance. Now, looking at the face of the teacher or looking at her bodily expression, the students understood that whatever she is going to speak or whatever she is going to read from the letter, that will be very important for all of us. It means this letter is quite important. Everybody listened closely as Miss Mason read the brief note. Now as she was reading the letter, everybody was very minutely and attentively listening to her, whatever she was saying. Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also. Jake is the brother of Wanda. So the father of Wanda has written that now both my children, brother and sister, they will no more come to the school. Why? Now we move away to big city. No more holler poller, no more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. So the father has written that in your school, the children are always teasing Wanda. So now we are leaving the school and we are going to a big city in a big school where many children will have such names like Wanda. So it will nothing be funny to pronounce her name or to call her Wanda Petronsky. It is only in your school that her name is funny. But now, wherever she will go, she will not face such problem and she will also not be humiliated. Humiliated means she will not feel insulted. Yours truly, Jan Petronsky. So Jan is the name of the father of Wanda. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Everybody was absolutely silent, no reaction. Miss Mason took off her glasses, blew on them and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. So she took out her specs and she started cleaning the glasses of the specs. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. Why she was sounding low? Because she was also surprised to when she came to know that this is the behavior of her class students. Means in this way, they have behaved with Wanda, that Wanda has felt so much of insulted. I am sure that none of the boys and girls in room number 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because his or her name happened to be a long unfamiliar one. Now, what was the expectation of the teacher? The teacher told to the students that I hope that whatever was your behavior towards Wanda, that was not deliberately, that was not knowingly. Unknowingly, you have behaved in such a manner with Wanda. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness. Now, I think that whatever words you have told to Vanda or howsoever you have behaved with Vanda, that was without intention. It was not knowingly, but it was unknowingly. I know all of you feel the way I do, that this is a very unfortunate thing to have happened, unfortunate and sad both. And I want you all to think about it. Now the teacher told that just like you, I am also feeling very sad that Wanda has left the school and this should not have happened. So next time you should be careful about this, about your behavior, and you should also think upon the decision taken by the Wanda. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. So put her mind on her work means she was not able to concentrate on her studies. Why? Because she was very upset and very disturbed by the letter of Vanda's father. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. Sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach means from inside she was feeling very, very bad. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Vanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. Now, she was thinking that the behavior of Peggy I did not like from the beginning itself. Whenever she teased Vanda, whenever Peggy asked Vanda the questions about her dresses, such type of behavior I did not like at all. But at the same time, I also could not oppose Peggy. I could not say anything to Peggy that no, you should not do like this. You should be careful about your behavior. So, if I did not like her behavior, at the same time, I also have never tried to stop her from behaving like this with Vanda. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. Now, Peggy was misbehaving with Vanda, but at the same time, I was the mute observer. I didn't say anything to Peggy. I didn't stop her from doing this. So, I am also same guilty as Peggy was. Okay, if she has done, I was an observer. I have not revolted against this. Worse, she was a coward. So she was thinking that I am not brave, I am a coward because I was afraid of Peggy, that how she will react to me when I will try to stop her. Maybe her second victim will be myself. She will start teasing me. She will start making fun of me, and because of this, because of the fear of this behavior that Peggy might do with me, I couldn't stop Peggy from misbehaving with Vanda. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but she, Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong. She could put herself in Vanda's shoes. Now, Peggy was not able to realize still now that whatever wrong she has done, whatever misbehavior she has done with Vanda was wrong. But Peggy was able to realize that. She thought that the behavior of Peggy was totally wrong with Vanda. So she was guilty within herself. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? Now she was thinking that whatever is done, we cannot change that. But now, is there any scope of improving our mistake? If only she could tell Vanda she hadn't mean to hurt her feelings. Now she thought, Maggie thought that I expect that I could tell Vanda that our intention was not to hurt you. It was unknowingly. It was not intentionally. Whatever was done was not knowingly, but it was unknowingly. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up. Now, very quietly, she was looking at Peggy, but Peggy was not looking at Maddie. She seemed to be studying hard. Now, Peggy was busy in her studies. but Maddie was not able to concentrate on her studies. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, Maddie had to do something. Now, Maddie did not know that how Peggy was feeling when she had listened to this letter. Was she also feeling guilty or not? But obviously, Maddie was feeling very much guilty and she had to take some action at this. She had to find Vanda Petronsky. Now, first of all, she had to stop Vanda from going anywhere. Maybe she had not yet moved away. So, Maddie was thinking that maybe Vanda had not left her house till now. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her and they would tell Vanda she had won the contest, that they thought she was smart and the 100 dresses were beautiful. So Maggie was thinking that maybe Peggy will also go with Maddie to search Vanda at her house, and they both of them will accept their mistake and they will say that they will accept that Vanda is a very good artist and she had made beautiful dresses with beautiful colors, and she was the one to win the competition, because when the name was announced of the competition, Vanda was not present in the class. So Maddie thought that we will go there to her house and we will give her this surprise, this good news that she was the winner of the competition. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left out or not." Now immediately Peggy told to Maddie that we should go to the house of Vanda and we should see that whether she has left the house or not. So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really alright. Now Maddie was thinking in her mind only that maybe Peggy is also feeling herself guilty. So maybe Peggy would also like to go with me to Vanda's house. And when Peggy announced that yes, I also want to go to the we should go, both of us should go to the Vanda's house to meet her, to see her, to stop her from going. So in her heart, Maddie also felt very happy. The two girls hurried out of the building up the street toward Watkins Heights, the part of the town that wore such a forbidding air on this kind of a November afternoon, drizzly, damp and dismal. So both of them, Peggy and Maddie, they were ready to go to Vanda's house and they started moving towards there. "Well, at least," said Peggy gruffly, "I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name." Now, on the way, when Peggy and Maddie were walking, Peggy told to Maddie that my intention was not to make fun of her. Okay, it was not knowingly I have done anything. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. Now, first of all, Peggy told that when I was talking to Vanda in a teasing manner, I thought that Vanda will not understand that I was teasing her. I thought that she is a foolish fellow and she will never come to know that we are all making fun of her. I thought she was too dumb, and gee, look how she can draw. I thought her a foolish person, but now I came to realize that she is a very good she is a very good artist. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Vanda. Now, on the way, only Peggy was speaking, but Maddie was not replying anything. She wanted to tell her how they were sorry they had picked on her and how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please not to move away and everybody would be nice. Now, Maddie was thinking that when I will meet Vanda, I will tell her that each and every student in the school loves you. They want you to be there in this school only. So please don't leave this school. Please don't go anywhere. Now, from now onwards, not a single student will make fun of you because you are a very good artist. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. And Maddie thought that I will promise that if any student would make fun of Vanda, myself and Peggy would fight with that student. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. Now both the girls, they were walking very fast towards Vanda's house. They wanted to reach there as soon as possible, and even before the dark, before evening. "I think that's where the Petronskys live," she said Maddie, pointing to a little white house. Now they came near to the house of Wanda, and Peggy told to Maddie that I think this little white house is of Wanda. Wisp of old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway like thin kittens. Now, when they were moving towards the house of Wanda, they observed that thick and thin grass was growing in the between. The house and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. Now the open area in front of the house as well as the house was looking shabby, it was looking untidy, but still it was not dirty. It reminded Maddie of Vanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. So immediately, looking at the grass which was grown just outside the house, Peggy came to know that Maddie remembered the dress of Wanda. What kind of dress she used to wear in the school? She used to wear the faded blue dress. Okay, so looking at that faded blue dress color, she realized that she could compare that faded blue dress to the grass which was growing in front of her house, because that grass was also looking like the faded blue dress of Maddie. Now, the remaining part of the story we will do in the next video. Thank you.